Now, the film industry has just celebrated its biggest night of the year, the Oscars. And if you haven't been following who got the main gongs, let me tell you. As expected, the big winner was the Christopher Nolan epic Oppenheimer, which won 7 awards, including Best Picture. Next, with 4 wins, was the quirky period drama Poor Things. Da'Vine Joy Randolph won the Best Supporting Actress award for her performance in The Holdovers. Barbie, the highest-grossing film of the year, won the original song Oscar for Billie Eilish's What Was I Made For? Meanwhile, celebrated Japanese animator Hayao Miyazaki won his second Oscar on Sunday with The Boy and the Heron. The film, about a boy who moves to the countryside during World War II, won Best Animated Feature. Miyazaki won the same award, scooped way back in 2003, for his film Spirited Away. And for more, I'm joined now by film critic Matt Schley in Tokyo. Tell us, Matt, about the film A Boy and the Heron, which won Best Animated Film.
Good morning. The Boy and the Heron is the first film from Hayao Miyazaki in a decade. It kind of wasn't supposed to happen. He announced a decade ago, hey, I'm retiring. This is it for me. And then a few years later, he said, you know what? Let me have one more go. And this is the result. It's a very personal film for him. It's got a lot of autobiographical elements. And at 83 years old, he's delivered, I think, one of his finest films yet.
Yeah, and you mentioned it's his second Oscar, and it's semi-autobiographical. How so is that with regards to it being, about him?
Sure. So Miyazaki grew up in World War II. He was a young boy, and his father's company built parts for Japanese fighter jets. And the same goes for the young character in the film. And things get more experimental and more fantastical as the film goes on, as much of Miyazaki's films do. But that's the starting point. So you see a lot of Miyazaki's own thoughts about life in that character.
And tell us a bit about Godzilla -1 while we're talking about Asian films. It won Best Visual Effects.
It did, which is quite a feat. The film was made for reportedly less than 15 million US dollars, which compared to some of the films it was up against is maybe a tenth of their budgets. It's directed by Takashi Yamazaki, who is both a director but also known as a kind of a VFX guy. If you want to even approach the level of kind of Hollywood CGI, this is the man you go to. And clearly they went to the right guy this time.
And if I can just ask you about representation in Hollywood, and how important is it that the Oscars celebrates films that aren't just coming out of Hollywood?
Sure. I mean, as you know, over the last few years, there have been some change-ups in the Academy with younger members and more diverse members. I believe about a fourth of the Academy members now live outside the United States. So you've got a younger, more diverse crowd watching films from all around the world, including Japan. And you've also got maybe a generation or two of fans of animation now.
All right, thanks very much, Matt, for talking to us today and telling us about these Asian films on the international stage. Film critic Matt Schley in Tokyo. And that's it for this edition of Newsday.